Golfers, Dean with golfallyear.com, and today we're going to be talking about the Garmin Approach R10 and my first impressions after hitting balls on it for about a week. So I've had it about a week and I've hit a ton of golf balls on it. And so I want to give you my first impressions. I'll be doing another review and a bunch more videos on the Garmin R10, but this is kind of my first impressions, the good and the bad. So let's get right into it. All right, so let's talk about the good things about the R10. And the first thing I want you to know is that I am about an 8 handicap. I am, kind of an average golfer. I don't hit it a long ways. So I'm not a pro. I'm not a scratch golfer. I am more along the lines of somebody that is just trying to get better. And so I use the R10 to really work on my game. And so take that for what it is with my first impressions. So let's get started. Number one thing that I think is good about the R10 is how easy it is to use. You can just quickly snap on the stand to the Garmin. It's a magnet and it hooks right onto the bottom. You then can just hold the button and you'll wait till you'll see the light will turn green and then it'll turn a red and then it'll have a flashing green light that says that you are ready to go to hit. You'll set it 6 feet behind the ball and there you go. You'll make sure that the ball's lined up and you can hit. So very easy to use in terms of the setup of the R10. Right, so the second thing I really like about the Garmin R10 is that it is portable. It's really easy to take to the range. You can take it, I take it and I'll hit it outside of my net, and I can also bring it inside and hit on my impact screen inside. It comes in a nice carry case, so it's easy to take with you anywhere you go. And I'm going to even bring it on to the golf course in my next round and try it out there. So I love that it's easy to use and it's very portable. All right, so the third thing I really like about the R10 is the stats that it gives you. It gives you all the stats you could possibly need. You have your carry distance, you have your total distance, your deviation from center, you have your club face, your swing path, you have your launch angle, and you have your spin, backspin, and side spin. So all those things are calculated. And I'll show you some of those things that are calculated. And I really like that. But the best thing about it is when you're hitting, you can actually put the three uh, stats that you really want to see each time you hit at the top of the screen. And so you can focus on a couple of different stats. And then if you want to see more, you can scroll and find more stats if you like. But it can really focus you. And I'm the type of person that, I don't want to get bogged down in too many stats and the feedback. I want to focus on specific feedback that's going to help me. So that's really nice to be able to do that. I also love the shot tracer. The shot tracer really reminds me of the SkyTrack in terms of what it looks like. And so, you're getting this great shot tracer and the stats for a quarter of the price of the SkyTrack. And so, when I compare those two things, the R10 really does a good job with the shot tracer and the stats that it gives you. Other thing along those lines is that you can save your training sessions and you can go back and look. You can look at your shot distribution, which is really cool. I'm going to do a whole thing on the driving range, whole video on the driving range. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and notifications so you get some of these videos that I'm going to be doing. But you can click on each individual um, ball that you hit and you can see all the stats. You can actually see the video of the tracer uh, after you've already hit all your shots. So it's really kind of a neat way to search through it. It does remind me, like I said, a lot of the SkyTrack in those sense, but I really love the stats that it gives. Thing that I'm really impressed with is the accuracy of the R10, in particular on the driving range. Now, I've had people that tell me, and I'll talk about this, that indoors they haven't had that type of accuracy. But what I found is outdoors, I found that it's really pretty accurate if you get it lined up correctly. I even had a buddy come over and hit his clubs, and he said the same thing. He said it's really accurate in terms of the stats that you're getting. So that's a neat thing to have. I'm going to do a lot more tests on it. I want to see it, is it truly accurate? I've done one test with the Swing Caddy. I'll put that link down below so you can check that out. And we'll keep doing more tests to see how accurate the R10 is. But for right now, I'm impressed with the accuracy. Right, another thing that I really like about the R10 is the idea of the home team hero. The home team hero is a fun way to play any local course that you want to play. It also has 42,000 courses that you can play. It has a weekly tournament, which is actually the tournament that the professionals are playing, and then has a leaderboard. I'll show you that, which is really kind of neat idea. Now I do have some drawbacks with it, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But the home team hero is a fun way to kind of hit and to play courses and to have some fun with it. I really like with a home team hero also that you can play a multiplayer. I had a buddy over and we played the Augusta Par 3 course, which was really a lot of fun. So that is a neat feature of the home team hero also. Lastly, the thing I like about the Garmin R10 is Garmin as a company. Garmin as a company is a great company, so I have a feeling that they're going to be updating the R10 and updating the software so that we get a very good launch monitor and simulator out of it. Now, the Garmin R10, what's neat is it also is similar to, I have the Garmin watch, and so the Garmin app actually connects to both. And so you have all your information from the Garmin watch that I use to get my distances on the course, to keeping track of my score, to keeping track of my stats. I get all those stats, the real stats from the course. It'll also give you your stats from hitting on the R10. So when you do your home team hero, you save a round on the home team hero, it'll actually save it on the app. And so all the stuff is done on the app. So you can get to your golf simulator stuff and you can get to your other stuff in the Garmin app. So that's a really cool thing with the Garmin R10. So now let's get into some of the bad or things they need to improve. So when I talk about the things that they really need to get done, it's the number one thing for me is the E6 on the PC, okay, on the desktop. It is not working. And believe it or not, they, are selling the subscription for it and talking up the subscription to E6 Connect, which allows you to play real courses and get a real simulator view as opposed to the Home Team Hero. And E6 is a great company that puts out a great product, but right now you are not able to connect the um, Garmin R10 to the E6 using your PC. Now, people have done it with the iPhone. If you've done it with the E6, please, with the PC, please let me know in the comments because I've talked to the support and they can't figure it out, and they're sending it to their engineers to get it going. So a little disappointing because that was one of the main reasons I got the R10, signed up for the subscription to E6, and I found out that I can't connect right now. Little disappointed in that. So that's one of the drawbacks right now. But I'm sure Garmin's going to get that fixed and we'll take care of it. Another thing that I've had a little bit of a problem with is the waggle that I have in my swing and my setup. I've had to change my setup and how I hit because you have to basically waggle your club back, get the red light, and then it'll start flashing green. And so as soon as it starts flashing green, you got to hit. You can't waggle anymore or move because sometimes it'll go red and then you'll hit and it won't register. And I've had that happen a lot. Sometimes I get too quick in my setup and too quick in my swing, and it's still red, and so it doesn't register. So I've had some issues with that. Uh, Very simple. I just have to slow down a little bit and make sure that I waggle and then come back and just hit. So something that's very solvable, but is a concern for me. Next issue I have with the Garmin is the Home Team Hero. A little disappointed in the Home Team Hero as it's not very realistic. I mean, it's cool to see your ball go and see the course, but the course, the graphics aren't very realistic. I don't think the chipping is very realistic. I think that, you can figure it out how to chip, but I don't think on a real course the chips that I'm using would play out. Also, I'm not sure it's very accurate. I think it's close sometimes, but I think there are a lot of shots I hit that I think I hit really well, and I'll put the swing caddy behind it, and I'll show a great distance. And on the um, R10, it just doesn't hit those distances. In particular, some of the shots, especially out of the rough, I know that they decrease it 10%, they say, when you're hitting out of the rough, but I found it's even more. I've had a hard time hitting out of the rough over water. There's a couple of holes on the weekly tournament where I'm in the rough and I have to hit over water, and it goes in the water every time, no matter how well I hit it, which can be frustrating. Um, so those things are kind of frustrating. I do like that you don't have to putt on it, but it can be a little challenging with the chipping. So that's kind of a disappointing thing with the Home Team Hero. And for the subscription, they're charging $100 a year on it. I don't know if it's really worth it, especially if you get the E6 and they get that figured out and get it connected. I'm not sure you need the Home Team Hero. I love playing the local courses, but again, is it worth the $100 a year? I don't know. So that's one of the downfalls is the Home Team Hero. I think could be better. Another concern I have about the R10 is the Garmin support for the R10. I've called them twice now, actually three times. I've and twice I've got a support person who are really nice, but they had never hit on the R10, nor were they golfers. So it was hard. I spent an hour trying to figure out how to connect to the PC, and it just was an hour wasted. Finally, they got me in touch with the person that is uh, been hitting on the R10, which really helped. So make sure you try to get that a person that actually has some experience with the R10. But because the R10 is so new, they don't have a lot of answers in some of the things that I was asking. So hopefully they'll fix that. Garmin's a great company, and they'll get that figured out. And I'm sure that the R10 is going to really take off, especially at the price point of $600. That is a great price point for this um, simulator and launch monitor. Okay, so overall, let's talk about the Garmin R10. Do I recommend it as a average handicapper, as a average golfer trying to get better? Do I recommend the Garmin R10? And I would say for the price, absolutely. It is a game changer. Okay, I'm going to be comparing it to the OptiShop in another video, but right now I can tell you that the R10, if they figure out the E6 for the PC, I think the R10 blows the OptiShot away. I think it compares to the SkyTrack. I've hit on the SkyTrack. You still have to get the subscription, yearly subscription, for 1/4 of the price of the SkyTrack. I can't talk enough about the R10. The R10, you get all your stats, you get the shot tracer, you can get the if you have an iPhone, it's great because you can already get onto E6. You have the Home Team Hero if you want to play on some of that. You have all your stats, all the sessions. I mean, everything is there for a great experience with the R10. So, do I recommend it? Absolutely. Do they need to work on some things and clean up some things? Yes, they do. Make sure you follow along because I'm going to be doing all kinds of videos, seeing how accurate it is, and I'm going to be doing a full review in about a month after I've really had a good um, time to hit and to experience it. So I'll be doing reviews and I'll be doing some distance testing and some other things. So keep in touch and we'll see you on the golf course.